Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and friends beyond the binary, it's time for the podcaster that instead of singing in the rain, I was just begging co say, please go to the bathroom in the rain. Please, let's do this. You can do it. I know you don't like the rain, but I'll stand out here with you. I guess that's like a podcast, but it's time for sleep with me, not peeing in the rain. Ideally, you've done that and it's not raining inside, but it's time for Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. And I don't know if you know this, but for each episode of Sleep With Me, it takes at least 20 hours of labor between me and the editors just to get one episode from start to finish released. And we do 12 episodes a month. And some of that work is supported by the generosity of the listeners that get value out of it. Some people donate on Venmo. Some people donate on some people help out on Venmo. Some people help out on PayPal. And then a lot of people help out on a monthly basis on Patreon. And I appreciate that help because it allows me to pay the editors and to try to budget my time long term. So I couldn't do it without all that support. And if you want to support the show, if you get value out of the show, I'd ask you to think about it. Tomorrow night before you press play on the podcast, say, geez, do I get $1 of value out of Sleep With Me every month? How many times do you listen? Do you get $5 of value out of Sleep With Me? And could you afford to support the show on an ongoing monthly basis at $5, $10, $1, whatever it is? It would be a huge help. Just go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/patron. If you join between now and December 15th, you'll get a chance to take part in the 2016 time capsule we're doing, and you can learn all about that over at sleepwithmepodcast.com/patron. And speaking of December and the holiday season, you know what makes a great gift? Something that's unique, is something that speaks on an emotional level, something that's fun, and something that's made by a skilled craftsman. And you know who I know that crafts things is the mystery bar, Jonathan Mann. And why don't you give someone you love a song for the holidays? You could go over to jonathanmann.net. Mystery Bar, why don't you tell them about commissioning a song for the holiday season?
It's getting close to that holiday time of year. Do you already have your gifts picked out? If not, you should commission a song from me for somebody in your life. It's quick and it's easy. Something that they'll like, 'cause we make it just for them. You tell me what to write about and then I write the song and you see the look on their face. I get a lot of commissions this time of year, so there's no time to waste. Email me, jonathan@jonathanmann.net. Email me, jonathan@jonathanmann.net. Good night.
So go to jonathanmann.net and get someone something extremely wonderful and unique. And it'll be worth it when you see the smile on their face and hear the trembling thank you in their voice. Go to jonathanmann.net. And speaking of music, I've been recommending podcasts, but our longtime listener, Damon D., who used to be on the backup, he would help us with research and stuff. He just launched an Indiegogo for a rock opera called Purgatory Falls. And you can read more about it. I'll link to it here in the show notes. Purgatory Falls, or you can search on Indiegogo. And I supported it because it's just like the world needs more rock operas. And I'd love to see... and I love chances like this to support somebody that's been supporting the show for a long, long time, Damon D. So check that out. Housekeeping, we're on the web, www.sleepwithmepodcast.com. Older episodes are there. You can comment on the show notes. You can get me at feedback at sleepwithmepodcast.com. You can get me on Twitter at Dear Scooter, on Facebook at Sleep With Me Podcast. I want to thank Chris Posterson from Sounds Like an Earful Studios, who did the theme music and edited this episode. I want to thank Jonathan Mann on our lullabies, jonathanmann.net. I want to thank Scotty and Jennifer on our artwork. I want to thank everybody that supports the show by spreading the word or using our Amazon link or sending, helping support the show financially, buying things from our sponsors. Thank you so much. And we have a Facebook group, sleepwithmepodcast.com/nods, N-O-D-S, and that's a listener group where you can hang out with other listeners and talk about sleep stuff and be kind. And that's narrated by Lauren, Lyda, Summer and Sarah, and Julie and Jennifer. And that's it. Let's get on with the show. Hey, all night tossing, turning, mind racing, trouble getting to sleep, trouble staying asleep. Well, welcome. This is Sleep With Me, the podcast that's here to put you to sleep. We do it a bedtime story. All you need to do is get in bed, turn out the lights, and press play. I'm going to do the rest. And what I'm going to do is create a safe place where you can set aside whatever's been keeping you awake, whether it's thinking, feeling, sensing, physical sensations, pain, emotional pain or emotional excitement, travel, whatever it is, whatever's keeping you awake. It can be any of those things, or it could be something different. It could be just a list. Lists are one thing that keep me up. And I think I might have used this recently, but listing, like if your ship is listing, like you're right, like I think I did do an opening about this. If you can't even remember, maybe you're lying in bed thinking, what am I going to do my next podcast opening about? Only done 478 or whatever. Actually, I transposed my numbers. 448, I think, is about to come out when I record this. Is that right? 400, so almost, but if you're listing, like I think if I had a ship, it'd be named the Spirit of Molasses. And if your ship is listing, I mean, that's not even good for sleep. Oh yeah, I did do it because I've been on a listing ship, and I said, man, and I tried to sleep on a listing. It was a boat, not a ship. But I think ships probably it's probably safer like when they're listing, because you say, well, it's a big ship. There's plenty of room to list. I hope that's the right word. Listing. The ship is listing. Listing what, Scoots? No, listing, like turning, in the water. It's off balance. I'm sorry. Like when you have dyslexia and you search for stuff, this happens all the time with these high-tech things. They say, I don't know what you're talking about. Even when I talk to them, I say, I don't have dyslexia of the mouth. I guess I do, because it's my brain. Yeah, it relates to my hands and my mouth. But the devices, they'll say, what? I don't know what you're talking about. And they'll say, what was that guy's name? And I say, which guy are you asking? No. What do you call that vegetable? And then you anyway, listing. I thought we were talking about listing ships. No. Actually, I'm in the middle of a podcast intro. Oh, boy. If you're new here, welcome. This podcast is a little bit odd, but I will go off topic But here's the podcast. It's to take your mind off stuff. I'm going to try to create a safe place for you to set aside whatever's keeping you awake. And it's any of those things, or it's listing, or maybe you have a partner like me. They haven't shared this in a while. Who for a while I would jump up in the bed and then roll myself in the blanket, like I would breach like a whale. I do breaching. That also cures you of bedmates, believe it or not. But I do a lot of breaching in my sleep. And they say, is that like RLS? And I say, no, I breach. It's not my leg. I jump out of bed. And I tend to turn, like, I think it was from being raised with 5 other kids, sharing a bed sometimes. It's like a form of blanket theft where you get your full mass behind the blanket if you breach with the blanket breach. That's also, actually, believe it or not, I hate to pitch something right now, but that's also my new YA series, bedtime series. It's a spy series. It's called Blanket Breach. And that's what they said. That's the pilot. I would say, we have a blanket breach. Get us Agent PJ ASAP. And they say, okay, sir. Agent PJ's on her way. Okay, when's she going to be here? Well, she's already on the blanket breach, sir. Blankets have been breached. That's as far as I've gotten. But, oh boy, if you're new here, I think that's what I got to reset yet again. So it's a safe place where you can set aside whatever's keeping you awake. I'm going to use creaky, dulcet tones and, pointless meanders. We've already had a few, as the, smooth dulcets would sing. Senselessness, word kebabs. I don't think have I told you about my word kebabs before? Because I don't think I have to explain it to you. I think you've heard it. So what do we call the topic? Kebab topics. That's different than word kebabs. Kebab topics sounds better than topic kebabs. But see, that's why you trust me putting you to sleep. I'm one of the few people that would take the time to say, okay, word kebabs, that sounds good. Word kebab. And you say topic kebab. Look at that. You can hear it as you lie in bed is saying, what is this man talking about? I say exactly, just kick back and relax. With, just like your pillow, say kebab pillows. It's again, pillow kebab. It's close. It's no word kebab though. But you'd say kebab. What does Scooter do with? What topics does he talk about on that sleep podcast? Well, he kebabs topics. What does that mean? I don't know because I'm in lack of describing what he does. I think that's the only way to describe it is he's kebabbing topics. Is he kebab? So he kebabs topics. So he takes random topics. And he said, well, so is it deliciously succulent things? He's was sticking them on a kebab stick? He said, no, he just kept repeating kebab topics so many times that now I just use that in conversation. Like today when they said, where are those spreadsheets? And I say, well, they're in a word kebab. Well, what do you mean a word kebab? Well, when we upgraded to that cloud thing, Majig, they got kebabbed. Anyway, let me try to refocus. So if you're new here, I'll be kebabbing things, but don't worry, like soft, pillowy kebabs. Pillowy kebabs, like the like without any, no barbs. There's barbs. No, I guess no barbs at all, because after Stranger Things, there's I can't use barb. Maybe Barbara Ann, but I guess I can't sing. And, but occasionally in episodes, I will go to a dance. I will take a chance. And they say, that's Barbara. I say, oh, okay. Well, I say, Bob's, I talk about kebabs, the kebabs. And anyway, there'll be confusing things like that where even I'm confused. They say, I can't listen to that in the edit because that'll make my brain scramble. Okay, anyway, if you're new here, I'm going to try to take your mind off. So I'm going to do a safe place where you can set aside whatever it is that's keeping me awake. I'm going to send my voice across the deep, dark night and try to escort you across the threshold from wake to sleep. And you can take your time getting there. You just kick back and listen. Obviously, you don't got to pay good attention to me. You barely got to take it. You could pay just like if you're kebabbing things. You got to pay a little bit of attention so you don't get poked, but you don't got to, maybe some people are like, no, you got to re-kebab those kebabs. And you say, what do I so I have to de-kebab the kebabs and then re-kebab them. And they say, yes, you do need to de-kebab those kebabs and then re-kebab them. And I say, is there a way to overuse kebab? And I'd say, well, if I did, I would try to say in the edit, I couldn't de-kebab the kebabs because it was too essential to the content. But you just kick back just like you say, well, you just throw those on the grill. Like, I guess this metaphor, it needs to be de-kebabbed, decommissioned metaphors. That's where I pick my mission, they don't publicize this stuff, but there is a government marketplace when they decommission metaphors that have been used in the, federal and state governments or confiscated metaphors. I've bought a few of those, they say, then they auction them off. And then they say, well, this lot of metaphors, lot 4,444 is a decommissioned metaphors from the tax code. We're going to start the bidding at $4. And I say, okay, can you, and they say, can I, point of inquiry, what is the top word used in these decommissioned metaphors before I make a bid? And they say, okay, let me check, sir. Lot four is kebab. These are the kebab metaphors. They've been decommissioned. And I say, I bid, what's the bid for? I bid $4.50, sir. They say, okay, sold. To the man in this, macaroni hat or something. I don't know. And they'd say, this is a macaroni fedora, actually. It's a fedora made of macaroni. Yes, I'll take those kebab metaphors. Do you have a lot of pasta metaphors? Anyway, sorry, I got to leave this auction. I'm in the podcast opening. Okay, so if you're new here, welcome. It's just silly. I meant to kind of drain the seriousness out of bedtime. And I ramble, I stumble, I mumble, and, and then I stumble again, but clearly. But I'm glad you're here. This isn't meant to, there's no shoulds here. So if you don't like the podcast, give it a few tries. It doesn't work for everybody. I hope it works for you. But if it doesn't, I'm sorry. I appreciate that you took the time to check this out. But I really hope it does. It distract you or take your mind off stuff or put you to sleep or be your companion when you can't sleep, because I've been there, struggling to fall asleep, tossing and turning, breaching with the blankets, and then having people, why'd you breach with that blanket? And I say, well, no, I breached with, I guess your day did breach. Why do you use kebabs so much? I mean, those are the kind of things that go through my head at night. So I've been there. And so if I can help you or make you look forward to bedtime or make you dread it less, it's an unbelievable honor for me. So I really yearn and I really hope I can help you fall asleep. And thank you so much for stopping by. Before we get to the story here, I'd ask if you could think about supporting the show over at Patreon, sleepwithmepodcast.com/patron. Just compare it to all the other things you pay for on a monthly basis and say, geez, how many times do I listen to Sleep With Me versus how many times do I use this other service, whether it's a TV service, a movie service, a music service. And I want to keep the show at 12 episodes a month and free archives and stuff. And I can do that with your help and your support. So if you feel like you give a show and you want to support it, go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/patron. And that's it. Thanks, everybody. Hey, everybody. It's Trending Twitter Tuesday here. And hopefully we can get this episode out in time for Halloween. Because I was thinking a lot about Halloween. I think I was thinking something about Halloween. I mean, I guess I was thinking I wanted to do a Halloween-themed episode. And then I was thinking about, and I don't know how many people are new or what if you've been listening a while, but a couple of months ago, I reached out to the mobile, I can't believe I'm saying this, payment platform. I don't know why I'm laughing either. It just sounds a mobile payment platform. That is a mouthful. Holy moly. Mobile payment platform. Payment platform. That's not real. Those aren't really podcasts. Words. Mobile is mobile payment platform. I don't know how you can say. I wonder how they do that. Welcome to Mobile Payment Platform Conference. They'd say MPP. That's not very good either, though. And I don't know what else you'd call. You can't call it phone, but you can say, well, it's mobile, not phone. Anyway, I guess you say, well, are you a niche comedian? Yeah, I do mobile payment platform comedy. And I have other comedy niches. What other ones? Well, I'm trying to break into the birder. But there's other people that actually know stuff about birds that do bird comedy. So I said maybe I should, to get down deeper. But then I realized I said, okay, I don't have any jokes about birds. There's probably plenty of them. And I forgot the rest of the comedy niche. I don't think they're comedy niches. I again am but anyway. But yeah, I'm working on some material for mobile payment. I'm not even into comedy. I just laugh when I say mobile payment platform. But if you're new here, like a few months ago, there's a big mobile payment platform, and the name of that company is Venmo. And I had this idea for them, and I still think this is a great idea. Of course, if you go through, if there was either, what are those things called that you tweet out, or actually they're on Pinterest. You got to go look at them on Pinterest. Infogram. Yeah, or a timeline of my life. And you'd say every time I said, well, this is a good idea, it turned out to never be the case. But I think, I proposed to them via a boring nighttime podcast. I said, well, why don't you make your platform or activate a sub-level of it called Datemoi? And we could use, or people that could actually get dates. They said, well, people that can get dates are already getting dates on Venmo. And I said, well, how's that? Could you activate that on my phone? I think I shared this on one other podcast, and this is just to be relatable, but this is a true story. When I first started dating, like a while ago, but after anyway, there was a time when I was using a certain dating platform that I don't use anymore. And I honestly emailed the company. I think I shared this. This is like in retrospect, it's hilarious, but I'm sure they get like 5,000 of these emails every minute. And I said to them, I know this sounds crazy, but I think there's something wrong with my inbound messaging because I'm not getting any inbound messages. And I said, I'm sending out outbound ones and I'm crafting the hell out of them. They're not gross or anything. And I'm not getting any inbound traffic on I said, so there must be something wrong with my inbox because I'm not getting any return replies to my sly, witticisms. Needless to say, the dating app company did not need to reply to that email. They just had to let me think about it for like 4 more minutes and say, oh, God, I already knew what it meant. I just didn't, please just help me participate in my own delusion. Anyway, so but I think this platform is perfect for dating because I know nothing about mobile payment platforms or, any of that or, mobile romance. Why don't they call it that? We're a mobile romance platform. Now that sounds good versus mobile payment platform because it doesn't have that, like that's a messy alliteration in there. Mobile romance platform. We're an MRP. Wait, whoa, boy, where do I, it doesn't, who else wants to invest, right? What's your startup? Mobile romance platform. And they'd say, I'm sorry. What did you say? Did you say working? Well, working on, no. We're already on our second beta mobile romance platform. It's already a proven player in another industry. And we're just, we're just getting ready to adapt it and relaunch or decide, Anyway, that didn't work out. It turns out I know nothing about any of these things, or maybe everybody was asleep, which is actually the plan anyway. Wasn't my plan to reuse anyway twice there. But so I'd come up with the idea to convert that into a dating platform. Did not, so far crickets. But a lot of my ideas start out with crickets. That's why I make a sleep podcast. But I guess I'm struck by how good mobile romance platform is. Like, I guess I didn't realize I should have been using that the whole time last time because I was calling it Datemoi, and then I said Datemoi. But I didn't have that extra thing. And they say, well, tell us more about Datemoi. What kind of app is it? Well, it's not an app. It's not just an app. It's bigger than that. It's a mobile romance platform. It comes packaged. You can use an app if you need to. But, believe it or not, we're using existing infrastructures for our Datemoi. And they'd say, well, that really pops Datemoi. They say, actually, no, it doesn't pop because it's a wah. It kind of floats off. Go ahead and say it with me, Datemoi. But you know what does pop? Mobile romance platform. Believe it or not, we're the only one. I mean, there's other ones, but those are just mobile dating platforms. Or, you have mobile romance, mobile romance thing, but those we're a mobile romance platform. And what makes it a mobile romance platform? It's mobile romance. It's a platform for romance that's mobile. What are you kidding me? Is that a trick question? Because doesn't make any sense. It's a platform that's for mobile romance. Well, what if I'm home? Can I use it? Well, if you're ready to be, just if you need a date, you might want to get some mobile going. But yeah, you could, if you still call it a mobile, you could be romancing on your mobile. But anyway, I was thinking about this platform, Datemoi, and I was thinking how much I enjoyed using it for the trends, which I think which is what made me curious why it's not a dating platform. But I guess that's not important. What's important is like when we were working on our launch ideas, I said, well, let me come up with let's integrate this mobile, let's get this mobile romance platform integrated with some, market, what do they call it? We're going to do some trans marketing, transmedia, transmarketing. And, and they said, well, that's so, we don't call it that anymore because everybody, you just make it. You say, well, we're going to do videos, we're going to do print. There is no such thing as transmedia. And I said, okay, well, that's fine because we do, like, it's already done. We're going to be doing word of mouth marketing, and also the the word, marketing, the romance will, sell itself. You're going to sell, whoa, boy, wait a second. Isn't this what yeah, no. We're not selling romance. No. We're a mobile romance platform. We're empowering romance. That's our actual catchphrase, Datemoi, empowering romance. Enabling empowered romance, actually, maybe. I might change it to add to that. And then you might say, well, what is this? What's this episode about, Scoots? Are you rehashing Datemoi and relaunching your mobile romance platform? And I said, no. I'm working on marketing material. Thanks for asking. Because as we reinvent mobile romance, what do we say? Mobile romance empowerment. Platform for Datemoi, a platform for mobile. A mobile platform for wasn't there one more empowering romance? Embracing and empowering romance. Some people might need to embrace it first. They say romance. And they'd say, that's right, dirt breath. These platforms for romance, not for your dirt breath type stuff. And they say, yeah, go ahead and delete this because this is a platform for empowerment of, what did I say? Encouraging romance, I forgot our launch phrase already. Romance, empowering romance. So that's definitely what we want to do. Enabling and empowering romance. That's what enabling empowered romance. Empowering, not enabling romance. We don't want to do any of that. Because that sounds like, is that a thing? Are you romance enabler? Let's just get rid of enablement. Okay, great board meeting, brain. Anyway, so part of our launch strategy was crafts, and so I was thinking with Halloween coming, I think I do need a new kind of craft for getting word of mouth. Get the word of mouth about. I want to see again. This is not a call to investors that's being recorded. It's a call to future potential investors. But I don't see why you wouldn't need you say, wait, this is a mobile romance empowering plan. Okay, let me just write a check to someone else. I just want this is my part in it. I don't want to have anything to do with the management. I'm the pitch man. But this is our fall marketing campaign. So I said, okay, we got you got Halloween, and then you have one of the things with Halloween are these pumpkins, those jack-o'-lanterns that people call them, and people carve the pumpkins, and then in the last few years people have found ways to be more artistic with them. And they've taken pumpkin art to a new level, and some people paint pumpkins, like our listener Kim H. And then you can also buy, pumpkin, stencils, so you can say, oh, you can, do pumpkin art just like the big shots, the luminaries. That's funny, right? Because it's candles in there. The pumpkin luminaries of pumpkin art. Which really, I can't, like, if I gave up on carving pumpkins like 6 years ago because I was so bad at it. And it probably been a 30-year span. I probably carved 5 pumpkins in my entire life. But so, what was my point? So I said, so they got that covered. The luminaries got that part down. The only questions are going to be, are you going to paint your pumpkin or are you going to carve it? Are you going to use a kit? Or a YouTube video, or maybe even a pumpkin podcast. How sweet does that sound? Oh, maybe I go on a pumpkin pie. Maybe I shouldn't, though. I think I did an opening about pumpkin products. But so I got distracted there. So those are your pump. You can say, okay, where am I going to get my pumpkin? You're going to get it at a pumpkin patch. You're going to get it at the grocery store or somewhere else. And then, are you going to carve it or not? Are you going to use, are you just going to use your imagination? Are you going to use a Sharpie? And then it can come down to the illumination stage. You say, am I going to use like one of those LED how do you say that? Votive? Are those what is that how you say it? Votive, like a LED candle? Or are you going to use a real candle? Are you going to keep it outside or are you going to keep it inside? And but again, you say, the people that come up with the ideas like empowerment via mobile romance platform. No, we're not empowering romance via mobile platforms and in existing infrastructure. People that come up with ideas like that, you got to think outside the pumpkin. Clear, and pardon the pumpkin pun. But I started to think about, and let's get down to the guts of it, the pumpkin guts. Okay, so, and maybe this is that I've watched The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, too many times for another podcast episode. But I was thinking about the pumpkin guts because, people scoop those out, and it seems like there's very few options. Like you have the people that cook with it, right? And then there's people that take the seeds and cook the seeds. So you could say those are people that are real. I mean, those are people that have their A game. And they say, I'm going to make some pumpkin bread or whatever you do with it. I have no idea because they say, let's get into it because they say, well, I guess we're competitors now. And then maybe you have the people that compost it or put it in the garden. That's great too. Or maybe, I guess I'd say, why don't you put it back in your pumpkin patch? Or, I mean, honestly, I'm not like for 2017. And I can see some of the investors on this call raising hand. Okay, what does this have to do with dating? Well, great question. It actually doesn't have anything to do with dating. We're here to discuss empowering romance, mobile romance via mobile platforms. So if you're looking for something as inane as dating, you're in the, you probably should just go to freaking Rite Aid and get a pumpkin carving kit. Anyway, sorry, I was demeaning an investor because they were going to buy, I don't know what Class Z shares are anyway. Oh, AA shares? I have no idea. I don't know what that means, but good day, Sue. Are you with Muskie? Oh, sorry about that. Anyway, to get back to like repurposing, get back to, visioneering. I think that's a thing that they say, what do you do? How'd you come up with mobile dating platform? They say, I don't know, it just popped in my head. Really? How do you pop stuff? Well, visioneering is how I do it. And they say, well, why are you spending all your time making a sleep podcast when you say you're having trouble monetizing? Why don't you come up with a visioneering course? And I'd say, do you think I want to share visioneering? Like he said, I'm trying to monetize it via mobile romance platform empowerment or something like that. If you let me get to the guts of this issue. So we got all these pumpkin guts, right? And I was thinking, those things, they feel good in your hands. So I guess I was thinking about doing like, why can't we sculpt to that? It seems like it would dry in the sun. And it would give, if it has a tactile feel that the investors are already shaking. I got to come up with 30 more minutes of podcast material here. And you're already shaking your heads at my idea to use pumpkin guts. Okay, I can't use it. I shouldn't even be using that term. It's just the inside of a pumpkin. It's a pumpkin, I don't know if it's the fruit. Quick question. Is a pumpkin a vegetable or a fruit? It's a squash. I think those are vegetables. What are those? Is that related to, pumpkin seeds are good. I know. Yeah, you're right. So the investors are not going for the pumpkin. They're saying that's not a visioneering idea. Well, I guess I could just go around to bars and do pumpkin carving, but that would be pretty boring too. So I guess we're stuck. And plus also I can't carve a pumpkin. So what am I going to do? because what I was going to do, let me play the whole thing out. I was going to, get at a nightclub, collect the collect all the pumpkin stuff in, vats, keep it refrigerated. I know what I'm doing. Maybe order some Thai food and, serve that. Like I said, we have to have free food at these Datemoi sign-up events. So how do people sign up? Well, they get let in on the secret. It's Datemoi. Don't talk about it. To me, I guess that's the thing. Like Datemoi. I don't know. I'm I have enough invested in our initial launch ideas. So we get to Thai food, we start serving that, get some yummy stuff going, get everybody gathered around and eating it. Maybe, fry some eggs and some coffee, breakfast, because we'll have a second round of breakfast, you're right, like 4 a.m. for the second crew. And then once we get everybody's stomachs full, then we start messing around with the pumpkin. You're right, we got to come up with a new term. What do they call it? I almost had it. I think it's another term that's probably not good for it. Like the pumpkin row. You can't call it pumpkin row? No, you can't call it pumpkin. Are you sure about that? Pumpkin row. It rhymes, because the thing is, it rhymes with Datemoi. Datemoi sculpting pumpkin row. See, because that's what we're going to do, is sculpt it into what? Well, we get everybody, that would be where we'd launch, and empowering romance, and, via arts that's the plan. Thanks, investors. So yeah, we'd have a table. Obviously, we'd have it covered in paper. At a nightclub. Yeah, at a nightclub. Wouldn't be everybody dressed well? Well, of course they would. We could have rubber gloves, but I think that would, we could have team sculpting. How about that? Like random teams, like where people were trying to connect. You prefer if we serve sushi versus Thai food? Okay, well, noted, but I thought that was last week. Now we're moving on. And yeah, we'd probably need some house supplies for cleaning up after this. I can't have anything to do with that. I'll be moving, like I'm just in I'm not in the delivery phase. I'm only in the, whatever phase we're in now, visioneering phase. But then everybody would have the joy of sculpting the pumpkins as a team. And then we could have, okay, here we go. You're right. Good thing we're working together. Actually, no one can leave. I feel like the guy in that one James Bond, like you can't leave here unless you're investing in this. But so we could also have teams. We could couple up people for judging, because I think that would be good. And they could privately judge, and they would have to come up with a number together, and an explanation for their winner. And then also we would choose, so then we would read the votes, but we'd also, for each sculpture, so say we have 10 couples, so we have 10 sculptures. And you look at sculpture one, you say, what is that? I'd be the host. I wouldn't, like I'm representing the host. We would have a better host, like someone like Wayne Brady, but more like Nug, someone we could, we'd have a host. And they would go, okay, like, tell me like the couple would have made this. And you'd say, what do we have here? Now, the judging people, they wouldn't be with the host. Like this, they would be in in seclusion, hopefully, because we'd be empowering romance in a mobile, in a dance club. But this couple would have sculpted something, and the host would be like, well, what is that? And they'd say, well, you tell us. And they'd say, well, it looks like a grub. And they'd say exactly what it is. And they'd say, that's funny, because I have a grub problem at my place. I have the raccoons come and they're digging. Luckily, I'm rent, but the raccoons have been digging up the backyard looking for grubs. And I never knew what a grub looked like until I looked at this pile of pumpkin. Pumpkin row. No, not pumpkin row. Okay, we'll work on that. But, yeah, that looks like a grub to me. Now, I don't know what a real grub is. Okay, so, and that's what it is. Great job. Are you two enjoying each other's company? You both feel gross. Well, that's why we have a mobile sink here, enabling. Why don't we do? Would it be weird if I asked you two to wash each other's hands? It would. That's couple number one, friends and guests. Okay, so, and then you go on to the next group, and it's, you say, what is that? That looks like a character. And you two, how have you been getting along this evening? Right? Okay. So what is this character? My true love. Your true love. So it's not this person. That's not your true love. Okay. In this pumpkin smush, you two aren't going to do any. This pumpkin thing represents your true love. Okay. Okay. We'll move on to the next couple. Thank you so much. Okay. This next one, this looks like a rectangle. What is it? Pumpkin fudge. Wow. Maybe that's what we could call the inside of pumpkins. Pumpkin fudge. Brilliant. Great job. You two win yourself a lifetime supply of pumpkin flavored fudge, courtesy of our sponsor tonight. And then we'll just fill that in. But so you two made a slab of pumpkin fudge. And let me guess, is one of you from the shore somewhere? Both of you. Well, I think we might have made a connection. Great, thanks. Let's just move on. How many of these? We got 7 more? Oh, boy. We'll never get Wayne Brady or Nug. I probably will have to host this myself. How's the voting going on back there? Well, I never totally explained the voting. Well, let me get to this next couple, and then I'll tell you. Oh, well, we have 2 of these. Huh, these are interesting. How are you both doing this evening? Great. What are those? Oh, those are wooden boxes. Pine boxes. Oh, that's a very Halloween theme, if you don't mind me saying. Haunting. Actually, excuse me 1 second. Can you have the DJ play Monster Mash? Great. Let's get some Halloween music going. I forgot to bring the decorations to it. 1 second again. Excuse me, folks. Do I have an assistant? Can you run out and get Halloween? I forgot to decorate. I forgot it was Halloween. And actually, when I'm doing these interviews, can you run and get costumes for the rest of the contestants? That'd be great. Thanks. Okay, so these are pine boxes. Very, very good. 2 pine boxes. Why? Oh, because you're both bored. I'm boring you. Okay, I get it. Into the boxes. Well, I think we've enabled some. I think this is empowered. Did you enjoy making these? You're enjoying that I am speechless. Well, I'm not speechless, but this is great job. Great job. Thank you. All right. Well, this one is orange, and we have two people here dressed in. You're dressed like. Oh, those are scrubs. So are you? You work at a place? Okay, great. Everyone has scrubs on. No. Okay, 1 second. Can you send the assistant back? The assistant's part of my brain. Okay, that's not important right now. I didn't mean to get the same. Well, there's a supply store next door. Okay, but everyone's dressed in scrubs. Yes, but the whole idea was to give me one more thing to talk about on mic. If they're all dressed the same, well, it doesn't mean they have the same job. I realized that I could make up at their jobs at the hospital or urgent care. Yeah, great. Okay. Well, okay, thank you. Okay, so at least everybody's comfortable. Actually, hold on 1 second. Send that assistant, but this is brilliant, actually. Everybody's so relaxed in these scrubs. Are they, okay, well, great job. Maybe I didn't realize is it hot in here, or is it these lovely people in their scrubs? Oh, boy. Okay, so this sculpture, I think I know what this is. It's orange. I like how you used, is this an iconic snack, pop cultural snack figure? It is. I wonder if it's trademarked or not. Probably. Now, how did the 2 of you come by this design? Well, you said it's orange, and then did you both shape with your hands together? Did you have any incidental hand contact when you were shaping these? You did. And did that trigger anything? Yeah, I'm just curious as a team how you arrived at this, because this is, I mean, if I was giving out the award for the best pumpkin fudge sculpture, well, they wouldn't win because they had the best I called it pumpkin fudge. Actually, they did not. Excuse me. But I think I would give you the award because this looks like this is a snack goldfish, correct? Yeah, I really like that you use that orange. I hope you two have experienced some mobile romance tonight, and thanks for joining us here on Datemoi with pumpkin fudge. That doesn't sound good. Anyway, let's go on to this next couple here. Now, I've seen rectangles and I've seen fish and I've seen pine boxes, but I haven't seen a square yet. But this looks like a square. And is that a bow on top, a attempted bow? I like how you did that. And do we have any any chance of any bows, BAUs, building some bridges like Bo does? If you don't mind me saying, I feel like we have here between the two of you. Did you enjoy making this gift box out of pumpkin fudge? Pumpkin dough. Yeah, pumpkin dough. Pumpkin dough. It's a little too gooey, you're right, to be pumpkin dough. Well, thanks for contributing. This is a nice present. Is there anything inside? Pumpkin fudge. Well, a box full of pumpkin fudge is like a gift that just keeps on giving. And I tip my chapeau to you and your bows, or your bow here. And so you did have fun. Great. This is going so much better. And you can keep the scrubs, by the way. I hope you do that. All right, this next one here, I feel like I feel like I'm in a time machine, and the two of you are just so, you both are sparkling with youthful enthusiasm, and you're also you have spark, whoa, so how come everybody else is in regular scrubs, but your scrubs are sparkling scrubs? Oh, we should have got everyone sparkling. Well, anyway, you two I feel like I'm at a disco. What's a disco? Oosh. I don't know. Believe it or not, discos predate me, but I feel like I'm at one. It's a place where you do disco dancing. But I feel like this is an old school thing because this is like a square. And are those rabbit ears on top? Those are, but neither one of you would be young. You two are too young, I believe, to, this is old-fashioned TV. Oh, just like in Charlie Brown's, Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. Yeah, the TV that Lucy was watching. It's a TV that's also a piece of furniture. It's a rectangle with legs. A wooden TV, yeah. A tube TV. You're right. Tube TV is a great podcast word. I've said that before. Tube TV. You got two sparkling glitter. Are you two members of the Glitterati? Well, I'll tell you what you should be, because this is a brilliant TV and a great job. And this is one of the more, this is good because you tied it into Halloween, and not as good as the goldfish, because the goldfish is orange, and I like, the colors, but you two are sparkling. By the way, you both have sparkling teeth too. How do you get your teeth? Oh, brushing your teeth. Well, no, I didn't brush my teeth for a couple of years when I was younger. Yeah, you two, wow. I'm stunned. Great job. I don't know if it's you, the scrubs, or you or me, but good job on the TV. And we have our next couple here. No, don't grab at the mic. You're not allowed. I can't have you on mic because I don't have any releases. Yeah, because we're not enabled. This is a romance empowerment platform here. This event. You want to talk on the mic? Afraid you can't. I'm afraid you cannot. But I want to talk about this pumpkin sculpture you have here. Now, before I ask, can I just get a show of hands here from everybody? Who here has done carving pumpkins? How would you get the pumpkin fudge unless you carve a pumpkin? Well, go to your neighbors. This is create community. Go to your neighbors and say, can I get your pumpkin fudge? Okay, everybody's laughing. That was unintentionally funny, I guess. No. Well, who here is going to add pumpkin fudge sculpture to the resume? What's a resume? Oh goodness, you're right. Resumes are irrelevant. It's just about right. It's just about networking. Totally. Well, that's a great way to network is talking pumpkin fudge sculptures. And also, you know what a great way to network is to talk about your favorite mobile romance platform where your romance was empowered, where your pumpkin sculptures were your first. You say when you look back at things and you say, my passion for pumpkin fudge sculpture. Yes, it sounds like I got a mouthful of pumpkin fudge. Thank you, sir. You are very funny. Thank you. But anyway, yes, ma'am. I do realize that. Who you don't know what sir, ma'am means. Okay, well that's not important. I'll just stick to not saying anything like that. How's that sound? Can I say pumpkin fudge sculpture? Thanks. Okay, go ahead. Everybody's laughing. So let's move on to our next couple here. Now they have this. I think I know. I mean, I'd say the whole thing was a success because I can identify what this is. And, you want to add me to quiz you. Is it something I would eat? Well, I wouldn't eat it for real because it's made from pumpkin fudge. But yeah, is it 2 all beef patties? Correct. Yes, I figured out that it's a hamburger, a pumpkin fudge hamburger. Very good. Will you win? No. If you ask me if you're going to win, that means you're going to, if there's like first, second, and third place, I'll make sure you're in 5th. It's crass to ask if you're going to win. Plus the gold, I'll tell you the rankings so far. I mean, 3rd place is pumpkin fudge because they'll sue otherwise probably. The goldfish is probably 1st place. Forgot what the grub. That was just that was the first couple. Maybe you're not gonna place. I'll tell you. Are you two going to be? Have we empowered your romance? You're sharing your dislike of me. You've connected by your dislike of my hosting this event. Great. Well, I'm just here to empower romance. That's one of my methods, believe it or not. Thank you. We're both beautiful, beautiful people. Beautiful on the, anyway, moving on. Now this here, holy moly, I couldn't see because yours is flat. I'll be honest, I am in shock. The 2 of you, I think I'm not even a judge, so I can't even judge, but this is beautiful and creative. And this is why we here at Datemoi, ladies and gentlemen, by the way, tonight's event is sponsored by Datemoi, the only mobile platform that empowers romance mobily using existing infrastructure. Datemoi. When we at Team Datemoi took a look at, we did some algorithm checking before we launched this. And even with the visioneering I did with my team within my brain and all the contradictions within, even with the endless hours of visioneering we were doing, I did not envision within my visioneering or envisioneering. I couldn't do, wow. This is creative. In the 2 of you, I would hope, if we haven't empowered romance, I hope we've empowered a business partnership because, they did all the work. Well, then luckily there's no actual prize because I think this would win. So these are autumn leaves. And this has a little bit of, I could not imagine, like that's a maple leaf, and you've actually used the different colors within the inside of the pumpkin, and I can see the veins or whatever they call it on a leaf. I'm just chlorophlored. Like, did you get that chlorophyll? Chlorophlord. And, I almost spit out my cambium when I saw these leaves. Holy moly, autumn leaves. And that's one of those other leaves. That's not a maple leaf. Yep, for sure. Is that a spruce? Oh, spruce is an evergreen. Okay, well, look at these colors. This is just spectacular. If I didn't have to talk to these other couples, because I wanted to, I wouldn't. But you would have you've done this competition a justice. Well, we got the great work. Okay, so we have this couple here. Hello, good evening. I guess we have 11 couples as mixed up. And what did you come in costume this evening? Okay, no need for the comedy. This is a sleep podcast, believe it or not. So there's no need for comedy here. I'll handle that. It was an internal heckler. That's great. So tell me a little bit about what we have here. This looks like 3 circular lumps of pumpkin fudge, but you got to tell me pumpkin ice cream. If you could have, I'm not a professional pumpkin fudge sculptor, but you could have done a bowl or a spoon. It would have been nice. Okay, well, yeah, I'm going to move. Great job. Thank you both. Not a great job. It's just pumpkin. You could have called it pumpkin balls. Okay, now you're laughing. See, that's why I said leave me with the jokes. I know I'm a joke. Thank you so much. Thank you for being part of thank you so much. By the way, are you two enjoying yourselves? Oh, there you are. That's all that we're here. I'm just here to empower. And, I guess I am enabling in some sense. And thank you. And our last couple here, no offense, that's a pumpkin pizza. I'm sorry. I cannot even, I thought we only had 10 couples anyway. And that's just like these people did the leaves. Can you come over here and look at, okay, well, I see you have some pumpkin pepperoni. Okay, well, it's better than the ice cream. You're right. I'm wrong. You're right. It's okay. You're right. I'm not, but I'm not a judge. I'm just a host. So I should have slowed down to appreciate the pumpkin pizza. You've got me. You are correct. I should have slowed down. So that's the pizza. And so, thank you. So we also have couples backstage, who, wow, really? So we've got a lot of romantic connection. Can we get scrubs for everyone here? Because I was thinking, what if we just have a pumpkin fudge fight? We all get into scrubs and we all throw, is there something like, does that feel like it's got any, okay, how about I pitch y'all on this? Since you all have won, because this is a participatory award, and most of the couples that we're judging left or are gone, or there's a couple people kissing, by the way. So there. What if everyone can you see just sir? Why don't you take one of those pumpkin ice cream balls? Go ahead and toss it at him. We'll play pumpkin fudge dodge, and I'll run around here and dodge it. Now here's a couple rules with this pumpkin fudge dodging contest. You still have to work as a team. And if you want to swap team members, you can only, like, is anybody feeling a romance? That's not going to work. Okay, let's just keep team members. You're correct. And then why doesn't everybody just start throwing pumpkin fudge at me? And remember, tonight's sponsored by Datemoi, the mobile, the data empowerment platform. And I hope everyone is acquired romance through Datemoi. And, you throw all the pumpkin fudge you want at me. Thank you, everybody, and good night. So I want to thank all the new supporters on Patreon: Kevin D, PUH to the N, Linda E, thanks and good night. Talissa C, thanks and good night. Margaret D, thank you and good night. Laura E to the J, thank you and good night. I want to thank Susan M. Shipping. L. Sophie H. Marissa D. Daphne W. Will W. Thanks and good night. Jeff. Thanks and good night. Anna J. Thanks and good night. Michelle, thanks and good night. Kits, thanks and good night. Ann G, thank you and good night. Chelsea F, thank you and good night. Arlo, thank you and good night. Michael J, thank you and good night. Rachel C, thanks and good night. Michelle C, thank you and good night. Hannah H, thanks and good night. Naomi and Graham, thanks and good night. Janet D, thank you and good night. Misty M, thanks and good night. Ginger 5, Snap, thanks and good night. Johnny M, thank you and good night. Mariam I, thanks and good night. Aaron G, thanks and good night. Alex S, thank you and good night. Desiree O, thank you and good night. Stacy the Chef, thank you and good night. Anna S to the L, thank you and good night. Alyssa S, thanks and good night. Alan with an A, thank you and good night. Joe A, thanks and good night. Elizabeth S, thank you and good night. Chelsea S, thank you and good night. Nicholas N, thank you and good night. Yasmin L, thank you and good night. Rachel S, thank you and good night. Lois P, thank you and good night. And Bethany W, thank you and good night. Over on PayPal, I want to thank Michael M, thanks and good night. Ariana B, thank you and good night. Sasha W, thanks and good night. Tia F, thank you and good night. Sally L, thank you and good night. Larry L, thank you and good night. Julie F, thank you and good night. Jennifer M, thank you and good night. Cheryl L, thank you and good night. Jane P to the C, thank you and good night. Christopher W, thanks and good night. Tyler P, thank you and good night. Matthew M, thanks and good night. Glenn W, thank you and good night. Sabrina T, thanks and good night. Shay M, thanks and good night. Robin S, thank you and good night. And Julie D, thank you and good night. And then over on Venmo, Bill K, the king of Venmo, thanks and good night. Sophie H, thanks and good night. Rachel B to the B, B-O to the B, thanks and good night. And Ann P, thank you and good night.